Hello, welcome. It's Lotus, Art of Sacred Embodiment. Thanks for being here. Thanks for subscribing and liking if the content resonates with you. Today I want to give a bit of an overview for what I talk about from the perspective of embodiment on our path of mastery now. So as we have been going through our awakening journey, some of us are newer, some of us have been going on this for quite some time. We're now hitting the phases of mastery. This year and next year in particularly, we're going to be upticking really quick. So when I say upticking, I mean the energies are getting stronger. The energetics that we are being activated in, right? The blueprints, the templates, all of that are getting quicker. And our job is to continue to ride these waves and say yes, right? So I want to say I did a video I don't know, earlier this week, and then I shifted it because I wasn't clear enough on it in the way that I wanted to be. So I'm revisiting it here in a bullet pointed form, and then I'm going to break this down a little bit more over on the Patreon page. Because this is including the divine union as we're moving forward. And that divine union is not limited to relationship with our, beloved or counterpart. It is the divine union with all of life. It is the unifying ourselves with our own highest expressions, highest potentials, and the polarities of life through that heart-centered space of divine neutrality and divine love. Now, the journey to this, right, is nuanced, and it's going to be very unique for everybody. And what I want to say is that the path of mastery is what we are always doing, all of us. We are always refining and redefining. If you are on this journey, if you are going through your own ascension and awakening process, if you are connecting more fully to divine source and your own soul presence, you're on it, because this entire path is a path of mastery. In the earlier phases and stages, it's really just about coming home and remembering the wholeness that we are and healing the distortions, right? Clearing and healing and integrating the distortions, our wounds, our shadow work, all of that. But when we have gotten to a place where we're living more fully from more joy and more of that sense of wholeness, then what we're doing is we're moving into mastery. So when we're talking about mastery when I'm talking about mastery from my perspective, here's some of the bullet points that I want to break down, and then I'm going to clarify them over on the Patreon page, because that's going to be a new category and a new tier that we're going to be working with for those who are interested and who are working consciously with this journey. So we're all awakening, but not everybody is choosing, or is it in their alignment, I suppose. It's just not what is happening to work consciously and mindfully and proactively with your awakening journey, with your remembrance, right? So some people, depending on karma, you might still be just sort of living the regular life and allowing circumstances to, to move you, to toss you here and there, my light, to toss you here and there. You might be riding still a lot of ups and downs and not be at a point yet where you're taking in the tools and the techniques and really applying them on a daily basis, right? Meditations, getting assistance for clearing what you can't clear yourself, working with the shadow, making the big changes or small changes in habits and behaviors and emotional patterns in your life. In a proactive way. And that's just a karmic phase. So all of these are just phases and stages. And as we grow more and develop through those beginning phases and stages, we begin hitting the phases and stages where we're doing this very proactively, consciously, pragmatically, and this is just how we're living our life. So how mastery is going to show up is going to be very different for everybody. And it's going to depend on everything that you bring in. It's going to depend on your divine blueprint. How activated is your divine blueprint? Are you activating your divine blueprint, right? Do you know how to activate your divine blueprint? And the mastery is going to be for those of us who are already at those phases and stages where we are doing this, right? We are engaging in relationship with our soul's coming home and embodiment. So for me, in this process, we're talking about honing and refining our divine alignment. Learning how to know what our true highest alignments are and consistently up-leveling them. Connection to your inner wisdom and your higher wisdom. So we're talking about like your highest self, and we're going to be doing the class on the highest self on Wednesday in Remembering Your Wholeness. I do 2 classes a month for that, and this following Wednesday on the 6th is going, I think it's the 6th, is going to be all about connecting to, accessing, understanding what is your highest self and selves. So it's connection to your intuition, developing your intuition, and accessing your highest self and connecting with the divine, with God. Your ability to surrender again and again and again and again from your egoic construct that keeps you connected to the 3D, right? This density of the physical plane programming. That you are devoted and dedicated to your soul presencing, to developing the maturation of your divinity and your true essence. Next is understanding the waves of letting go and release that we go through again and again and again. And this is part and parcel with the ability to surrender and to learn the subtleties of how to ride those waves with ease and grace and with that inner guidance, and to read the landscape of what life is bringing and taking away. Mastery also comes down to the sensitization of our own internal energetics, our faculties, our psychic and spiritual gifts and faculties that start to come online, and how to assess the energetics of the world around us, people, places, things, environments, systems that we're engaged in, and how to navigate that in your highest good. It is living from the inside out rather than the outside in. It is really mastering that ability to understand that our reality is created from within us and that we are the conscious creators in connection with life that creates what we are experiencing and our emotions, right? It's working with up-leveling our emotions into states of being. So on Patreon, I have a series of videos of meditations and light language activations that take us through, let's say, for instance, happiness is an emotion. However, the divine quality of happiness is joy. That is a state of being. That is a frequency of our soul and of the divine that we always hold within us. But how do we attune our frequency to be able to hold that expression consistently? So that is mastery, right? And then living from our divine blueprint. What is your divine blueprint? How do you activate it? How do you follow the divine messages that keep you on track? And how do you know when it's time to up level or activate another layer of your divine blueprint? These are all expressions of mastery. And so what you might be recognizing is they literally take our permission, our choice, and then we have to engage brand new behaviors, brand new relationship with how we're living our life. Now, I'm going to break this down over on Patreon so that you can get a deeper view and see if this is going to be for you, right? So I'm going to be setting up a mastery tier, and I'm going to make it available really reasonably, because like I said, we are all in our own phases of mastery if you're on this path. If you're on this path, life is going to be moving you one way or another. And this actually goes for, all of humanity that is not on this path. But it's definitely not with ease and grace. If you don't even know about this path, right? We can look around and see just the hardships that people are going through as this collective upheaval is happening. But when we learn how to move and engage in a deeper relationship from within and with divine source, God, life, right? Whatever that is for you, it's a game changer. And so I hope you join me over there. I hope you check out the extended, talk on this. And then I'm going to be launching that pretty soon this week by Lionsgate. Lionsgate is on the 8th, so I definitely want to have that up by the 8th, as well as the tier on sacred union, on relationships, conscious, devotional relationships, romantic relationships. that also is going to be activated over there as well. If you haven't been over there, then I invite you to hop over and check it out. I've put the link below. There's actually a fair amount of free content. I want to make a lot of it free for processes that I'm not doing here. And there's a series that I'm doing right now on shadow work. There's, I think, 3 videos. I'm going to be putting another one up. I'm doing them like every week or so. Different expressions of how to work with our shadow and with our density and with our fears and our shames and our wounding, so that you can get you can become a master, right, at your shadow work, so that you don't really have a lot of shadow work to do anymore, and when you do, you can get through it in a blip. Yeah. So, and then there's other things you can purchase, and then there is a membership. All right. So I hope this is helpful. I hope to see you over there, and I hope to continue on this journey with you. Many blessings. Much love.